I'm not going to do any AI in this video, so don't freak out and click out too early. Today I wanted to talk about birthday presents from last year, plans for this year, and, well, yeah, mostly plans for this year. My birthday presents, I got a bunch of t-shirts, some of which my cats have seen fit to sleep on. I think I wore, no, this is one that my daughter got me for Christmas. It's kind of small, but she thought that the picture on the front was too funny. But they didn't have all the sizes available, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to wear this one. This is a large. I need extra large at least, so, well, yeah, I've gained a lot of weight during the pandemic. I haven't been able to lose it yet. But you see the cats have been sleeping on it, all this cat hair. I'm going to have to run it through the dryer before I can wear it. One of the shirts I wore in the last video was the lunar landing moon pie picture. Here is a werewolf moon pie. You see the background is the moon pie. Not just the moon, but the moon pie. There's a bite taken out of the right side. And again, this shirt needs to go into the dryer before I can wear it. And of course, this one, Rush. This one we just got in the mail today. It was a late birthday present. So I'm able to wear it because it does not have cat hair on it yet. I used to be known for making videos tasting Kit Kats. Here's a chocolate frosted donut Kit Kat. I'm going to taste it before I do the big reveal of what I'm actually up to in this video. These oddly do taste, as you can see, I've already eaten some of it. As usual with these Kit Kats, the flavor that's intended is an aftertaste, not when you first eat it. And yeah, you get the donut aftertaste after you've eaten it. While you're eating it, it's just a different tasting Kit Kat. You can sense the chocolate in the real chocolate. But you sense something other, like a pastry-like flavor. But you don't notice that it's actually donut flavor until you finish swallowing. But it's still pretty good. Among other birthday presents, let me finish this first. My wife got me this tin of all the Rush album covers, and of course, you know I'm going to be trying the pound peanut butter cups. My wife also got me this copy of Ghost Rider by Neil Peart, the drummer for Rush. Turns out this is a book he wrote after doing a 14-month road trip after his wife and daughter died. The book opens with, you can see how far I've read into it. The book opens with him describing the death of his daughter and then the death of his wife and the almost year in between his daughter's death and his wife's death. So it's really emotionally challenging. He makes occasional references to the fact that he's the drummer for Rush, but not very often, so that you are able to forget that. You just think of it as the tragedy of this man whose daughter dies in a horrible accident by surprise, and then less than a year later his wife passes away, and the trouble that she went through in the progressing of that. I don't know that she developed cancer, or at least it was detected after their daughter's death, and she died less than a year later. And it's horribly sad. But fortunately, that's only the opening chapter. There is the difficulty that he had in deciding to do this, but it's basically the story of the 14-month road trip that he went on. And I've just barely gotten into it, so I got past the first chapter, which was, as I said, emotionally very hard. And I noticed that when I looked at this tin that my wife got me, that it's remarkable that all these albums here are before his family died. And then these last three albums are all that they did after his wife died. it was several years between these two albums because when they finished Test for Echo, at his wife's funeral, he looked at Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson and said, "I'm basically retired. I just can't do that anymore." And then he went on his famous road trip and concluded with writing this book. But then they got back together for Vapor Trails, and it was a difficult recording session. And here's my stool. Notice that the dog liked to chew on it when she was a puppy. We haven't gotten a new dog yet. She died of cancer a little over a year ago. But notice my stool is hard, made out of wood, solid wood. So the news for this year is I have purchased a website domain. Let me show a picture of my website. Right now it has the site under construction notice at the top of it. And underneath it says, if you could just hold your breath for 20 minutes, I'm sure the problem would resolve itself. Don't try that at home or while operating heavy machinery or driving. Piloting a plane would also be a bad idea. So you have been warned. This is a safety disclaimer. Rendering yourself unconscious by holding your breath is not advisable medical advice. So don't be doing that and blaming me for it. It's a joke. Okay, so going to be spending some time building my website. I've already got a lot of the stuff set up for the accounts needed to have the website. Although one I'm having a stumbling block on. In order to get secure, it's going to be an e-commerce website. I'm going to do it to sell my books because they just haven't been selling from the publisher's website. For some reason, people just don't want to go to a publisher's website to buy books. Like the mistaken notion that you supposedly have to buy or sign up for an account on that website in order to buy a book from it. I thought, okay, well then I'll just create a website and sell from my own website. I think Lulu has a feature where you can set up your website to make them do the selling, but right now I've been setting it up to make it so that I have to do the selling, and then I order from Lulu directly to my customers. So that might be something I might have to do differently. I don't know yet. But the other thing is that in order to have secure retail checkout, I have to have either the website or myself be a licensed business entity. And I'm not sure about how to go about that. Is there different grades of business licensing for just a retail website? Do I have to be a full-blown business entity? Do I have to have a physical address somewhere other than home? I don't know yet. This is my next challenge with this process, so that's where I am with it right now. But I wanted to show it off and say, this is what I'm doing this year. I'm also still trying to finish the facsimile edition of the production report story. It's not that it's horribly tedious. It's just that we've had so much going on with the holidays that I haven't been able to really stick with it to finish it. It's just a matter of redacting the text and doing the finishing touches on the gate sleeve, because I'm going to do it only in hardback. I don't want to do that in a paperback. It's going to be expensive, and not many people are going to buy it, but I just kind of have to do it to get it out of my system. And then I'm going to resume writing on Captain of the Watch, Book 1. That's going to be a trilogy of 3 books, so fair warning. Also wanted to make a comment. You've seen me drinking this Spindrift a lot. To be honest, I only like the blood orange tangerine flavor. It has a great flavor. It's very subtle, and it's not sweetened. So a lot of you who drink sodas are going to have a hard time drinking it because it's just not sweet. But the tangerine juice does give it something of a bit of a flavor, so it's worth drinking. And the thing I wanted to comment on about bringing this up is because I think Mark Rober drinks Spindrift. Let me show a picture of a screenshot from one of his videos. This is content borrowing. I'm telling you who the content come from, so I'm not, refusing the source. I'll put a link to his video in the description below too, just to be even more fair. But Mark Rober was shooting a very, very powerful laser at a can of the raspberry lime Spindrift. I recognized the can and I thought, ooh, Mark Rober drinks Spindrift. He doesn't advertise it, he doesn't say anything about it, but I thought, but I know that can. That's the flavor that I first started with Spindrift, and I actually kind of didn't like it. It was just too tart. That's what I like about the Blue Orange Tangerine. It's not tart. It's just carbonated water with some flavor to it. It's not sweetened, and that's what's going to make it a very hard sell for a lot of my viewers. It's not a sweet soda. It's just a carbonated water flavored beverage. But as you're getting older and you start realizing you have to wean yourself off of a lot of sugar in your diet, this is a good way to go because it's really good tasting. It's still carbonated water, and it's extremely low in sugar. But anyway, so that's my video for today. I wanted to show off a couple of things we got from Aranda's Bakery. There's this wonderful Mexican bakery in town that walking into it, it's a splendor for the nose because you smell the baking. They do all the baking right there. So you walk in and it's like walking into a bakery, a live bakery, because they're baking all day long because they have so much business. So you're walking into freshly baked bread. In fact, they sell bolillos in this trough where they dump it straight from the bakery into this trough because they know people are going to buy it right after it comes out of the oven. So they don't take the time to package it or present it in the cabinets or anything. They just throw it in this trough and say, here, grab it while you can. But anyway, so let me end there before I go too long rambling, which I've already done, but that's the way it goes. Oh, I forgot. I was going to show off eating the Reese's peanut butter cups because they are a pound each. And I wanted to see if the flavor was altered by the ratio being changed. Look at that. They're so big that they can't even use paper to serve them in. It's a plastic tray. And the bottom of the peanut butter cup has a corrugated surface. And yeah, you can see the seam where they put the top of the chocolate on. I don't know if you can see that on regular peanut butter cups. But it looks like it's a fairly thick layer of chocolate on top. No, I can feel it kind of mushy. There's an awful lot of chocolate on the outside of this. I'm going to have to break it in half so I can bite into it in the middle. See how thick that chocolate is? Mmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got that classic peanut butter cup flavor. The relationship between the peanut butter and the chocolate. And the slightly sweetened peanut butter. They don't put just pure dried peanut butter in this. They sweeten it up a little bit. So, but it's still peanut butter. But yeah, it's still very good.